Yo, 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 we back like South Crack, man. This is late night with Sharif, and man, we the first time we had this young lady on here, man. She gave us some great stuff. One of the things that we talk about all the time is putting treating this like a part time job. Same thing she told us. Treat the music business like a music, podcast, whatever, entertainment, whatever we're doing like a business. And since then we've been posting more, doing more. You're saying put 15 hours a week into it.
Oh,
And
you remember?
yeah, that stuck with us. We always talk about that, and post 3 times. You know what I mean?
Clock in.
Just like it's your job, and it's been working for us. So man, we got Miss Lisa back today, and we're gonna let her introduce herself again, tell you what she does, and then we just gonna have like a regular, just like the homies, sit back here and talk about a
That
few
part.
things.
That part.
We don't really got nothing going on, but
We're going to have a
yeah,
conversation.
we're gonna have a conversation.
Right. So, hey, y'all. How's everybody doing? This is Miss Lisa from Diamond Law Entertainment LLC. And I am a music business mentor. And what that is I do manage artists and I do teach the business of music. But for the most part, I just make sure, everybody got their paperwork straight and things like that and able to show you how to maneuver. And that's it, pretty
That's
much.
what's up. That's what's up. And we just before we get deep, we just you just gave us out a blessing by being able to come and be one of the judges. So now we got five. We don't need any more judges, but we got five judges. We got three from I think the Charleston area and everything like that, and then we've got I forgot one of them, but then now we have you, and we appreciate you. Not breaking up. Not busting our head and everything like some people.
I love
like,
what I do, though. So,
yeah, this is an independent game. It's a South Carolina game. Nobody has thousands of dollars to give some of you people that have escalated in the
situation.
in the South Carolina music business that have a little thing going on. Nobody has that kind of money to give you. So I mean, remember where you came from, and I just I always put back into your community. Nobody so. Um, but yeah, man, thank you for being a judge. So that's March 1st. It's gonna start at we're gonna say 6 p.m. We probably the first act probably won't come on to 7, but we need some of the artists to come early. Big music festival. Two brothers, one brother from Charleston, one brother from Florence, Common Ground, and the other brother Hood. I think you know this guy's from Charleston. Hood. It's not Hood Naughty. That's it's
Hood Rich?
it's Hood some Hood Natty. Hood Natty.
Hood Natty.
Yeah, Hood Natty. Yeah, those guys. You know what I mean? They were putting together a show. I can't take credit for it. They were putting together a show and they needed a venue, and they just wanted a small. They only wanted maybe 15 artists, and they've actually been in this building before for New Year's and did a show. And I was just like, man, this is just like too small for what y'all need to be trying to reach. You know what I mean? And so they put me down with their team, and man, since then we have 60 as of today. I think we got two more artists, so we have 65 artists. I tell people all the time, I've seen this done before. If you get 30 artists, you're only gonna have 15 show up. So we got 60 something. So we got 30 something artists. Now if all 60 show up, that'll be great. We got space for you. But we got time and we got space and we got a location. But we're gonna have we probably 30, 40 acts, and everybody's gonna be fighting for not really fighting. I don't like to say that word, but we really want you just to come and network, show your talent, and just I respect the indie. I know the indie culture is like somebody else's thing, but I respect the indie culture. I respect the indie world. I came up in it. I'm a artist that was really deep into this thing at one time and starting to do it, get picked back up a little bit. But you know what I mean. So I understand the game and I understand what y'all go through, being charged for everything, having to pay for this, pay for that. So we just wanted to give back to the people that are showing up to the extremes and to the the bistros and to the gas labs and to the hollow arts and to the best of the solar system events and people that are showing up and really take this stuff serious, and then to the people that really don't, aren't or are kind of discouraged or not taking it as serious. We want you to be around people who are taking it serious so that you can see, because some of these people that are going to be there have a following. You know what I mean? They have, you know what I mean? And I didn't even realize that because I see a lot of artists that come by themselves and they may have one or two people with them, but they don't really have a following. But and you can elaborate on this, and we can get into that. What's going on in the independent world, but I don't see a whole lot of people like behind them. I don't know if they're tired of, it's been years and years and they just don't want to come out no more or whatever. But some of these people have a following. They're hot right now. And, it'd be good for y'all to link up with that, with them and everything. But
or find out what their sauce is.
Or what's going on, or, whatever. And it's going to be some videographers there. Chop Jones is giving away a free video. You know what I mean? The brother that has one of the best platforms, Chico James, is giving away a behind the fence freestyle, and I rarely see anything that he does less than 10, 20K. That's a big thing.
Plus.
That's a big plus to be on that platform. And he's also, even if you're not the winner, you can still get a behind the freestyle with him for half price, which is only $100, and that is a good look to be on that. But he's going to set up the whole behind the fence right there at my house. Whether it's hot or cold, he's going to be outside, and he's a good person to link up with. We have one of the other things that's important about being an independent artist is when you show up. You show up dressed, you look nice. We were able to get Macy's to give us $100 for the best dressed male artist, and the $100 to the best dressed female artist. We got Dillard's to give us another $100. So we did get some sponsors in this thing. Envy, even though it's not at their location, they gave us $100 for somebody to come in there and have some drinks and some food and things like that. There's some more stuff out there. It's gonna be about over $500 worth of door prizes, which is just gonna go to people just to kind of keep them around and keep everybody from being outside all the time. Because there's so many people, everybody's gonna have a time slot. So you're gonna know what time you're performing. If you're not there, you missed your performance. You know what I mean? We don't have, we got 4 hours to pull this off. If 60 people do show up, that 4 hours is gonna be tough. So, and to get all the prizes out and everything like that. But, if it's 40, 50 people, then, we got it covered. So, but it's going to be very important that you're paying attention to your time slot and you're ready. And you get all your music. The DJ Surplus is the DJ for the event. He has already put out where you can send your music to. He's on top of it already. I was trying to give him to at least I got the list and a short list, but he's already put that out there. It's going to be engineers in the building, producers, one of the up-and-coming marketing guys in the industry that's really trying to get on, that's done some work with a few people. He's going to, give a 30-day consultation. But the big thing is that it's $500 to whoever has the best crowd participation, $500 for whoever's the best female female artist or group, and $500 to whoever is the best male artist or group, and then a boot to the block with Chop Jones, whoever's the best lyricist. So so it's a lot of stuff out there, man. A lot of appreciation out there, a lot of money out there, a lot of gifts out there, just to show our appreciation for the independent artists and stuff like that. So hey, Miss Lisa gonna be a judge, and she's probably gonna be there, willing to spread her knowledge to a few people, and maybe one can catch a couple of these people that are looking for management, because people ask me all the time, can I manage them? And I'm like, I manage my own life, so I can't manage an artist. So I mean, what do you think about the the independent world and what's going on? And it seems to be like picking up a little bit. The young lady's got an event on February 1st, so she came on the podcast, and she said she talked about that Smith or something like that. So yeah, she's got something going on February 1st. So Gas Lab just gave away $1,000 last week. So it seems like people like the indie culture is picking up. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong, but what do you think?
So it's the new meat that came out. So it goes in a wave. So when you have the people that have already been doing it, right? And then you got others that see the indie veterans of the area. Now they want to come out. So when they're coming up, then it seems like it's another wave.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because now you're hearing names that you probably didn't hear before, and you be like, "Oh, it's like a wave and da 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 da." But it's just the newbies, new jacks, boot camps. The people that haven't done it before that are coming out now.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean that they don't need to grasp some knowledge. Because, see, everybody always say, oh, she just wants you to do it her way. She just thinks you need to do it this way and that way. No. Most of the ones that are saying she thinks that you need to do it this way or you need to do it that way, a lot of them are still in their same space. Like they're right here. You feel me? And so I'm not saying you had to listen to me, because I always end my situation with, if you don't come to me, go to somebody.
Right.
Okay? And with that said, but where you at? In the same spot. Maybe you moved an inch to the left or the right, but you in the same spot. And I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but there's just certain things that you can't get around. If you want to drive, you have to go get your permit first. Then you have to learn how to drive. And then you have to take the driver's test. You can't get around that. You can't just hop in the car and go. You can't, you can, but when you hop in the car and go, what happens? DUS first, or driving without a license first, driving without a license second, driving without a license third. All right, and now what happens? You end up spending money on something that could have cost you what? $25. You feel me? It was $25 to get the permit, and then when you take the test 6 months later, it's another probably $25. So that's $50. But now when you get that ticket, how much is that ticket? You feel me? So it's the same thing. When you want to have a business, which being an independent artist, again, is a business, you have to learn how to run your business. And I'm not saying you got to sit up there and get a whole degree on how to run a business. You need the basics. You need to know the basics in order to get to the money. The object of the game is to get to the money. And to get out there. But you can't get out there if you don't have the tools and the dedication to do so. Right. Did I say too much?
No, that's perfect. And besides that, like, what would be your so with the new wave that is coming, what would be your biggest advice to them? Like, how do they sustain this wave and turn it to something?
Do you have your paperwork together? And the paperwork is the paperwork you need and the sites you need to be on in order to get that money. YouTube is not the end all to be all. TikTok is not the end all to be all. You need to be able to make money in more areas than just those two. Not to mention, you need to protect your music. Do you know how to protect your music? That's the advice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And I hope that, we don't have any guest speakers or anything, but I would hope before maybe you can present an award and while you're giving that award, just say that real quick to these people. Do you have this? Do you have that? Or you just just putting your music out there?
Just like we said earlier. So, do you want this to be something that's gonna make you enough money to where you can quit your day job and still be comfortable? So, if you live off of $2,000 a month, right? Your music needs to consistently make $3,000 a month because you want to be comfortable.
Right.
So if your music is not making more than your day job, you can't quit your day job.
No.
And don't say I'm going to quit my job and go into music because you need the money from your day job to go into the music, because this is either going to be an expensive hobby or an investment into your business.
Right. That's what's up. So yeah, man, we definitely, everybody needs to know that kind of stuff. It's just more than just putting out the music. So with all of this stuff, man, going on, there's a lot of people I see, in the independent world. They really got a lot going on and going through a lot of stuff, you know. So how important is like keeping up with your mental health in this game?
Okay, so I just went through something myself. I had a couple of people that I thought was, Team Lisa, not so much. And then right after that, my daughter had a major stroke. So for 2 months, I wasn't able to work. My business still straight, but I wasn't able to physically go to work. Okay. And so taking care of 2 households, mine and hers, because she has 6 kids. So taking care of 2 households and a 2-year-old, as far as cooking and making sure everything is done, make sure the kids get off to school, all that kind of stuff, right? That takes a toll. And it took a toll so much that it's like sometimes you just sit down and be like, oh my God, I got to put my business to the side. I can't do what I need to do. I've got stuff I need to do. Thank God I have a phenomenal assistant. Shout out to China Orr. Otherwise, I would have been stuck. Thank God I got a phenomenal manager. Shout out to Steve Cherokee. Otherwise, I would have been like stuck. But I had people that, if they needed to reach me, they could go through either or and be able to, like, hey, what do we do for this? Or what do we do for that? Or somebody called about this and that. So I say that to say, even in the interim of being in a situation, because my daughter was in a coma for, I think it was like 7 to 10 days, something like that. Wow. And she stayed in the hospital 36 days. She's doing right. Better. And she's doing better now, but she still needs round the clock help. You know what I'm saying? So in between me trying to, get a day here at the office or get a day there at the office, I still gotta, be there for her. So you need to figure out how to get a 5 minutes, how to decipher what's important that's like major league important and what's not. So you got to figure that out. Another thing that helps too is if you have small to large things that you have to take care of, write down the small things you have to take care of, and when you get them done, you can write the word accomplished next to it, because that gives you a feel of accomplishment. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yes, granted, the other things are still going to be there, but right now, this is what you did. Pray, water, being by the water, and just taking some time for self. Because if you don't, and people are like, hey, Sharif, I need this, I need that, I need this, da-da-da-da, in your face, and you don't take 5 minutes to breathe, you're either going to hurt somebody or hurt yourself.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to find it. Even if it's at 1 o'clock in the morning where you're sitting on the stoop and just sitting there and don't say nothing to nobody and nobody says anything to you, you got to find that solace somewhere without taking it out. And God forbid, if you have to take medicine, take your medicine. Yeah, take your medicine.
I'm big on that. Make sure you take your medicine.
I'm big on that too, because I noticed when, I told you I used to work in the prison system. And so when I worked at the jailhouse, this was the crazy thing. So when the person would come to jail, they'd be like, oh yeah, we didn't have no problem with him. Like dude or chick was like, inmate of the month. Yeah, because the nurse came around at 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 o'clock at night. And they ain't had no choice but to take the medicine. But then when you let them walk out that door, you give them a little brown envelope with 2 weeks worth of medicine that nobody's there to make sure they take at 6, 12, and 6. You feel me? So that's the disconnect. So if you don't have somebody that's helping them stay on point with what they got to take, what you think gonna happen? You feel me? So if you have to take medicine and you're able to know that you got to take medicine, whatever, and you think you might forget, man, your alarm clock allows you to do, your alarm on your phone allows you to do what? Like 6, 7, 5 different alarms. Right. Set one for repeated for 6 o'clock in the morning, and set the other one for repeated 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Set the other one repeated for 6 o'clock at night, so that it's gonna go off. Right. You know what I'm saying? So figure out something that's going to work for you that's going to calm you down. But now we can talk about a situation. I'm not calling nobody name out because I'm just not doing that. But if you are so-called friends with somebody, like say you and me is like thick as thieves, right? And I happen to notice that, like all of a sudden, everything you say on your post is starting to get dark. Everything you do when I see you is starting to get dark. Your how you say, your verbiage is just weird. Right. And then you keep saying things like, if I'm gone and this, that, and the third, hold my name down, hold this down, and this, that, and the third. Either way, alive or dead, I'm gonna be that person. Okay. Right. You should have checked on your friend. Because if you can run around and tell everybody post-death that was your friend, and I'm talking to every and anybody, like, oh my God, da-da-da-da. I didn't see anything happening until after the fact. And then it was too late. But if you know when you're on social media, if you're not interacting with a person all the time, it's not going to pop up on your timeline like that. But once everything goes crazy and your friends start linking on this page and that page, then it's going to pop up on your page. You see what I'm saying? So at least I think that's the way it works. But in any event, if you see somebody starting to sound a little off, right, crashing or about to crash out, you need to like go in there and jerk that steering wheel one time. Yo, let me holler at you. What's up? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? It could be as simple as they didn't take their medicine that day, because some psych meds only last for like, it's in your system an 8 to 10 hour period and then it's out, period. And then some are what they call time release that, it'll come off at this time. And then a little later on in the afternoon, it's going to release some more, and it'll have you covered all day. But not all meds work like that.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I got my third child like that. Like when you taking the same thing with like birth control. Like if you like even if y'all at odds and y'all not having sex and everything like that, the female should stay on the birth control.
Well, true indeed, because she can skip one day, but she can't be skipping 2 and 3 and 4 days. Yeah, that's not how that works. And then turn around and say, "Oops." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're not doing that.
So I'm going to not to get off the subject, but I'm going to pick up the medicine so I know she got it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Stop by the drugstore on your way home and pick it up, so I know I gave it to you.
Good morning, kissy. Did you take your medicine?
We okay.
Right.
She told me, hey, we wasn't doing nothing for.
It doesn't matter.
I stopped taking it.
It doesn't matter. Because even when you first take something like that, they tell you what, it's going to take X amount of weeks to kick in. A lot of psych meds are like that too. Right. It's going unless it's the one that's the here and now. But a lot of it, they say, you're not going to really feel no different until like 2 or 3 weeks. You
got to keep taking your medication. Because I was just explaining to you how my stepson, he didn't take his medicine and he just, he crashed out at the school. Man, they had to empty the classroom. So, you know what I mean? It's just like, you got to be consistent.
But the other thing is too, there was provocation before that. Right. So whether he took his medicine or not, they were still poking the bear. Yeah. And the thing about it is, just because you see somebody may have a handicap that's different than yours, and I use the word handicap because like I might be able to extend my arm out like this. You might not. You might only be able to extend your arm out like that. Right. That doesn't mean that there's something wrong with your arm. That means your arm's just shorter than mine. Right. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, the kids need to learn that everything don't warrant a joke. Yeah. Everything don't warrant. If somebody has or is moving different than you're moving, that doesn't mean that you make fun out of that situation. Right. You know what I'm saying? That means you ask them, like, hey, are you feeling okay today? Right. Do you need help with something today? There needs to be more empathy amongst these kids, because that's how you end up having, school shooters and all this other stuff
exactly.
because you kept making fun.
Right.
But once you made fun, then 20 other kids jumped on there and made fun. Then 30 other kids jumped on top of that. Now you got about 150 kids making fun out of this one kid.
Cause and effect.
And and now the kid can't take it no more.
Yeah, he's just going to school and he don't care about nobody.
He gonna crash. He crashing all the way out.
And it may only been 5 people that was picking him, but now in his mind, everybody's
down in his mind was that movie Carrie when she was walking down there and they said they're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna. And it was stuck in her head.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So you got to be mindful of how you do things, and a lot of times the bully is the one that got the problem. Right. They got a shortcoming. They got a shortfall. Right. So they figure if they bully somebody else, nobody's going to pay attention to them being either uneducated, can't get no good grades, got clothes from Goodwill or whatever, which don't knock Goodwill because Goodwill got that. I'm a Goodwill fashionista.
Especially that one in Charlotte.
Right. Yo,
what? There's a lot of them in Charlotte. But one close to like Carowinds and all that. Yeah, there's
Pineville. There's some good. But I'm just using that as an example. But still, somebody may not have what you have.
Right.
But that don't give you the right to go bully somebody else because you don't. Because everybody has a backstory.
Right.
And nobody knows the backstory. And when you keep poking the bear soon enough, the bear gonna swipe.
Yeah. Definitely.
Soon enough, the bear gonna swipe.
Definitely.
And so, and in the music industry, some of it is things they've done prior to when they got in the industry, and then the evil rears its head again, saying, like, yo, remember when you was, just starting out and you was running with this gang, or your boy did some stuff and you was standing right there, and this, that, and the third, and it's either, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna testify? Are you gonna crash out? Are you gonna, what you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen since I've been in it, like last year I took 2024 and was just trying to get out there. And I mean, I've been back making music for like 4 years now, but I just got like out of the studio and out of my comfort and just started wanting to see what other people was doing and meet other people and things like that. Because I'm not, I know a lot of people because I was a car salesman and then a bondsman for so many years, I know the community. But like, unless you tell me you do music and this and this and that, like, I didn't know the people in this industry in Columbia, in Charleston. I knew a few people from the beach just because they were around when I was around there. And now they're, nephews and sons and stuff are in the business. But I didn't know Columbia and I didn't know Charleston and I didn't, but it's a lot of people with some mental issues, and I take a mental issue as that you come to the studio and you got to jump out the car with an ounce of weed, you know what I mean? You got a Draco, a baby Draco, you know what I mean? You got a 4.5. You know what I mean? And my whole thing is, if you got, I take, everything is. I grew up corporate America. I was in car business 20 years. That's pretty corporate to me because it's same levels and success and this kind of stuff like this and hard work and and sales and stuff like that. So I call it the Wolf of Wall Street. That's how car sales is, just like Wall Street.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. So my whole thing is that's how I grew up in. So when I come to work, I want to be in a safe place. You know what I mean? Safe space, mentally safe, mentally together, physically together, you know what I mean? I need to get my sleep at night. And you know what I mean?
Things you need to do.
And I need to be ready to work. I need to know my job. What I see now, like going into the studio, is you're not mentally there because, you know what I mean, you got, this on your mind, who's gonna kill you, who's the op on this side of town.
Zoned out.
You know what I mean? You're not physically prepared because you're on these drugs and you're staying up all night, you know what I mean? And you coming to work not prepared to work because you really not, the music's not sounding good because the other things are not working for you. So, you know what I mean? For you to be able to make good music, you got to be in the right mental space. It's just like for you to be able to sell a car, you got to be in the right mental space. Because if you're thinking about home and girlfriend and this and that, the customer can see it, and it's the same thing as people
Same
listening
thing I
to your
used to
music.
say when you were bartending.
Right.
If you and I are bartending and we can't stand each other,
Right.
and now we're looking at each other, giving each other dirty looks, ain't nobody coming to us to get no
Nobody
drink.
coming to us,
Yeah, they're not coming to us to get a drink. Oh, them two right there, they beefing.
Yeah, the whole
So if they
vibe's
beefing,
on. Right.
my drink gonna be tasting nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
My
you at the
food ain't
car
coming
dealership, right? If you
Yeah.
at the car dealership and you beefing, oh, they're too busy mad at each other. They're not gonna tell me what's underneath the hood of this car. They're not gonna be able to give me the
Right.
ballistics, the statistics, of how this car
Right.
works and this, that, and the third. And they're not coming to you.
Right. And
People don't understand that.
And that bartending and
Car dealership, the
music business.
it all.
I have a song that's about my life, and I say, well, everything relates back to drug dealing. And it's not a song that that's one of the downsides of my life, selling, crack cocaine and cocaine, you know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is when the song is about everything relates back to, it has nothing to do with being a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? What it has to do is just everything relates about like having this good mentality, having a good product, you know what I'm saying? Having, a good work ethic, you know what I'm saying? And just being a go-getter. Like, I don't really see that. Like, I see a lot of cats that know a lot of other cats, and they kind of leaning on that, but they don't got their own thing going on. Like,
because
yeah,
they're all in the same area.
right.
So, and it's funny that you said that about your song. I have a poem, right? And the poem is called "Is That Your Girl?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everybody think I'm talking about a white girl in the poem. I don't want to give the whole poem away,
Right.
but at the end of the poem, you realize I'm not talking about a white girl.
Right.
Okay, so when you do things like that, it's like, okay, so say tomorrow I become a podcaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I may come to you for pointers. My podcast is not going to be the same as your podcast,
Right.
because otherwise you wouldn't give me no pointers. That'd be,
Right.
excuse me, redundant.
Right.
Okay, so if you're doing the same style of music and every week you're in the same spot together with the same people doing the
Right.
same style of music,
Right.
right? Yes, you may be friends. Yes, that may be your boy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you notice, if they share your music, there ain't no share with hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag that. It's just a share. That's it. Okay? Walmart is not going to share Target. Sears was not going to share JCPenney.
Mm-hmm.
Burlington is not going to share Ross.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Why? Because they're doing the same daggone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So why would they boost you up if they're doing the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The other thing is everybody want to be on everybody's song. Why?
Mm-hmm.
If you get out there and you make a name for yourself, then go ahead and pick who you want to jump on there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But after a while, when you all hang in the same area, when you all do the same thing, see these two mics right here?
Mm-hmm.
They look alike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk through this one or I talk through that one, what? They sound alike.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm getting at. If you all doing the same thing and you're all hubbed up in the same area and keep repeating yourself, right? You all start to sound alike.
Right.
And when you start to sound alike to somebody like me, I'm not coming out no more. I'm just not coming to that.
Yeah.
Because the whole end game is, one, to have originality. Don't sound like this one and don't sound like that one and don't sound like the next one, because in the mainstream industry, they already got that person.
Mm-hmm.
So if they already got that person, why they
Right.
if they got somebody like that, they don't need you.
He's one of the best scientific minds we have today. Out for the Low Bail Bonding. Out for the Low Bail Bonding has been in the community for over 5 years. We don't just bond our people out, we love our clients. We want to see our clients grow from a bad situation, and we're not in a rush to revoke your bond. We're here to help our clients through the pretrial process. We love our community and put back when others just want to monetize. Out for the Low Bail Bonding in Richland, Lexington, Horry, Florence, and also servicing Orangeburg, Saluda, and other surrounding communities. If you need our services, please call Mr. Wally Sharif at 803-351-7785.
Yeah, I heard somebody. It was a couple weeks ago. I was somewhere, and I heard somebody. He sounded just like couldn't think of the artist's name, but he sounded just like this other artist one. And I was just like, dang, as talented as he is, nobody wants to hear another one of that.
Right, because we already got that. And we can go in there and get it.
And then a lot of people stole from Lil Wayne, but nobody came out and sounded exactly like Wayne. So you can have an admiration for a person and maybe, copy a little bit of the style, but you got to come with some kind of originality.
But I even know a couple of artists that like J. Cole. They like Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that. However, they may have it's not even a similarity. They may have even a little bit of the cadence, almost damn near maybe an exact match. However, their lyrical game is sick as a champ. Right. So if you want to sound like that person, you need to come with your A game and your A+ game and your A++ game so that you're going to stand out that much. That's like, damn, they sound like Kendrick Lamar. Damn, they sound like J. Cole. But, Kid was fire. Son was fire. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I tell you that young Thug, his biggest problem with Lil Wayne is that he admired Lil Wayne so much. But Young Thug, you may hear the influence, but you don't hear a copycat.
But you hear Young Thug.
You hear Young Thug.
You don't hear Young Thug Wayne. You hear Young Thug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my whole thing is you could be influenced by somebody, but you gotta sound a little different.
But see, the other thing is too, they all hung together, but they also had a team. So the team is not gonna push out 3 people that sound alike. That's not gonna happen. So even though they hung together and this, that, and the third, I don't think they recorded together, like everybody in the same room, because that's how you catch that same style. So, hey, it's just like when you go to your job, I go to my job, and somebody else goes to their job, right? We went to 3 different jobs, but then we came back out and we hung together, but we do 3 different things. So even though they're boys and whatnot, they still had 3 different styles.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. A lot of these kids here, they all pile up in the studio together. They pile up at every event together. They're cheering each other on to the point where you can't tell who's rapping or who's not. And then you got the ones that have the same engineer, right? And all your beats start off and sound the same way. The only people that can get away with that is like reggae artists, Afrobeat artists, soca, and different genres of music like that. But even rock can't get away with the same startup beat. Rap can't get away with the same startup beat. You can start with the 808s, but you better flip it real quick. You can't do the same beat. Now reggae, it's reggae because it has that distinctive, it has that distinctive sound. But with rap, we like rap, but we don't want to hear the same beat from everybody. You want to hear something original. As different as Vanilla Ice to a J. Cole. You know when you hear Vanilla Ice, and you know when you hear J. Cole. Right. Because it's 2 totally different situations.
But it all
worked.
Yeah. I agree with that now.
Well, if you don't allegedly get hung off in no balcony, it all worked.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, so I mean, shoot, I'm excited about where it's going, but you know what I mean. Like it does feel like it's trending a little bit better, but you know, man, I am also cautious about the oversaturation of the same sound. You know what I mean.
Right.
I am a little bit worried about 10 indie nights in 1 week. You know what I mean. I am worried about that, like you know what I mean, because it's just not. You know what I mean?
See, some of the indie nights are to showcase the artists, and then some of them are just straight up a money grab.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they know the same crew's gonna come on. They know the same people are gonna do the same thing, and it's the standard third. When you're going to all these events and there's no prizes that you can actually use, like I like the gift certificate from Macy's. I like the gift certificate from Dillard's. I like the fact that there's going to be other gifts that are going to be given away, but it's not the same old thing. You get 2 hours of studio time, and then you're going to get a week's promotion and this, that, and the third. Right. First and foremost, a week's promotion ain't going to do nothing.
Nothing for you.
Okay.
Not even 30 days.
Right. And 2 hours of studio time, but whose studio you going to? Who's the producer?
Yeah, who's the engineer?
And then on top of that, what's my sound gonna sound like? And do I have to pay for the mixing and mastering? Right. Do I have to do all of this? So in essence, you still got to come out of pocket for something.
Right.
So I would rather say something like, I can set up your BMI or your ASCAP or something of that nature and show you how to navigate it, which is something you need because that's something that's gonna get you money. Then you got the ones that wanna it. Some of them are really, really talented and they really want to get ahead, but they come in there and win all the prizes and whatnot. And in actuality, they don't want to be famous. It's just a hobby. Don't do that, man. Let the ones that really are hungry, the ones that are real hungry to get this, let them get their thing.
If it's just I'm a school teacher.
But I can sing.
I'm never going to lead the school
district. Go to karaoke. Stop it.
Yeah, that's
go
what
to karaoke.
for.
Stop it. You want to be the overnight and say, go to karaoke, man.
Man, karaoke,
don't do that.
Is exactly what it's for the people that
can. You can be a karaoke rock star, but just don't do that here.
You know, what karaoke was invented, it was for, and I used to, and I'm a karaoke fan from back when karaoke wasn't popular, or it was a white bar thing, and I probably was in the clubs and stuff at 15, 16 years old in the ATL, and they introduced karaoke at Shooters, which was a bar that Too Short and Ed Banks had on Old National Road, College Park.
Look, Old National Road. Man, look.
I was there. I was there 3 years. So, I was introduced to karaoke, but it was just like a get drunk, the worst singers,
right?
The worst rappers.
What they say, the drunker you get, the better they sound.
Yeah, it was like that, like people that really could not do nothing. But now in the last 10 years, you see all the people that was
actually, some of them have skills.
They got skills,
right? But they just don't want to be.
Yeah, they don't got the wanting
to
be in front
Beyonce,
of the audience.
They don't want to be Rihanna. They want to be
They even in the corner singing the song, you know.
Right, what I mean? And then you have to look and you be like, wow,
oh damn,
yeah,
she can sing. You know what I mean? It's not like an introduction. And so now the karaoke is all for all the people that really don't want the spotlight, but they just want to come in there.
Right.
They want to, they want to be the what's the church? The lead again.
Yeah.
They want to be the lead at the church again. You know what I mean? When they were younger, they was the lead in the choir and stuff like the school choir. So that's cool. That's what that's for. You come out there on this indie circuit and stuff like that. I mean, you should be one of those people, whether you're 15, 16 years old.
Every month when somebody sees you, your game should have stepped up from last month.
Right.
Every time when somebody sees you, you should have stepped up from the month before that.
Right.
And reason being is because it's nice when people know your music, but when everybody knows your every step, your every move, your every song, your every this, that, and the third, right, that's a wonderful feeling.
It is.
But when you've been doing the same situation for, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to the same song, Yeah, they're gonna know your music. Shoot, I know your music.
Yeah. I know a couple songs word for word, but I'm tired of hearing it.
That part.
I mean, and hopefully it make it a catch to the world, and then they be able to sing it again for 2-3 more
But
years.
see, and this is the thing, is that yes, we can literally say the song is old as dirt to us.
right.
What did you do to push that music out?
Because
All that $25, $10, $15 you put in all that daggone what do you call that? Open mics and stuff like that.
Open mic fees.
Right? You could have bagged back from open mic for a month and put that into the $5, $10, and $15 here and grasp your audience.
I hate open mics that charge money. I know it's a business. I just wish the business was in a situation.
No, okay. So it's like this. I'm attached to a label, 1 Degree, out of Atlanta, Georgia. A new label just started up, but it got some heavy hitter people in there. I ain't gonna call out no names because I don't want nobody to be all up in my inbox. Yo.
You connected to them.
So right. So if I bring that crew out here and we're looking for somebody, yeah, you got to cover our travel, you got to cover our this, that, and the third. So heck yeah, we're gonna charge you for that.
Right.
But you also need to come prepared. Don't come in there and run up on people and say, yo, I'm a rapper, or yo, I'm a singer, or yo, I'm this, pop my number in your phone. What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's very
did you bring a one sheet? Did you bring an EPK? Did you bring anything in the way of professionalism that's gonna make you stick out better than the next one?
Right.
Do you know who's gonna be in the building? Because I used to tell people, you'll never know who's gonna be in the building when I have an event. Okay? And sometimes there'd be that dude is in there, and then sometimes ain't nobody in there. But you never know with me, because I'm not going to tell you that my thing is you should come out because you want to come out. And I'm not going to tell you that I got Hot 97 in the building. Well, I had an event like that. But I'm not going to tell you I got this guy that used to, did that. Or this guy is an award-winning, a Grammy Award-winning producer. Or this guy is this guy and that guy is that guy. I ain't telling you nothing. But when they pop up and pop out and they're looking at you, right? Are you prepared to speak to this person? Are you prepared to be able to present yourself? And I can wholeheartedly tell you there may be 1.5% in the whole state of South Carolina that are prepared to do that. And that's through all genres, not just rap.
Oh, and when I talk independent, I talk everybody anyway. I
just put that out there because people be like, oh, she always down to rap. No, that's 1.5% for everybody.
Right. And then, but I think, you bringing people there, blah, 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 blah. But I think, like, you know what I'm saying, like with some of these nights and they like start charging artists like $10 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then if they wanted to bring 10 people, you know what I mean, that's $100 for the crew.
All right, my partner says this. You want to get paid for an event? How many people can you bring with you?
Right. Oh yeah, that's all.
So if you can bring 10 people, hell yeah, I'll split that with you. Yeah. I got no problem with that.
Right.
Right. And the reason why I'm splitting it with you is because overhead still needs to be paid. Because people are like, but why you just don't get in the whole thing? No, because we got overhead, fool. You know what I'm saying? So then the other thing is that, everybody want to charge this and charge that. I'm going to perform. Let me tell you something. If I'm going to take an L because you can't bring nobody in that building, I'm not going to pay you attention. At all. If you got 100 followers on Instagram, don't come up to me asking me, can you get a paid show? Paid what? You can come in here and see if somebody pay you attention. But that's where they don't know the business side of the game.
Right.
If I help you, what you going to do for me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How are you and I going to help each other?
That's life.
Pay these bills and get this change? How we going to do that?
Right.
And then you got people that go to I ain't knocking, but they go to another state for a yearly event, and you go out there and don't have a business card in the first, don't have a piece of merch in the first, go to the same venue where all your people from back home went to, you have nothing to network with, and you fly in, do what you do, and fly back out and have the same result you had when you flew in. Now, if it costs you $500 round trip to fly in and fly out, that's $500 of marketing and promotion you could have got on your situation. But you chose to go somewhere to see if you could just roll up on people and say, yo, I'm so-and-so and I'm an artist. Yo, take my number. They're not going to keep your number because they don't know you.
Right. I went to, I don't want to say this because I know, but so I have to explain this before I say it because I have a lawyer. He's in Houston, Texas. I had 2 lawyers, but one here and one in Houston, Texas. My lawyer in Houston, Texas is an entertainment lawyer. Even though I don't do a whole lot of entertainment, I got an entertainment lawyer. And I fly to see him once a year. And we sit back and talk about things or whatever. And then later on, I learned of some other artists that's from South Carolina that go to Houston kind of regularly and do some stuff like that. So I'm not talking about them. And I just want that to be known because I actually really like them. They won an award on the award show that we did and everything. So I'm not talking about them. But I went to Houston, Texas and stuff like that. My knee happened to swell up on me that week. I was in crutches by myself, no crew. You know what I'm saying? Just an old man in Houston. Went to go see my lawyer. My lawyer said, man, you want to go to Trill Studios? You know what I mean? He was like, I know Bun, you know what I'm saying? I know this person, I know that person, you know what I mean? He was naming some people I didn't know. But he named Bun B. I didn't know that.
Everybody know who Bun B is.
I didn't know that name, you know what I mean?
Big Pimp.
Yeah, so
everybody know who Big Bun.
He was like, you wanna he said, you got your stuff together where you can record? You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I done laid down some stuff. I got some stuff together. I can record something. So he was like, yeah, man, let's
roll.
I got you. Let's do 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the Trill Studios or whatever, and I recorded for like 2 hours and stuff like that. I did a little bit over 2 hours, and we was sitting there, and we did a few little things and talked to their engineer, and then he listened to they listened to a couple of things. I really only did like one song, and then they listened to a couple of things that I had, and they were giving me advice on it, and they were like, my engineer word needed to be, and I no disrespect because my engineer is my stepson, so you know what I mean. But they were like, the engineer work could be better, you know what I mean. The master could be a little bit better, and they were just telling me, a little bit more crisp because you can hear it once they put it in them big speakers and stuff. The difference between them,
different ball game,
right? So and then when the first time somebody told me that, I was like, man, this shit sound good. What the hell are you talking about? It sound good in this car, but when they put it in the boom boom. You know what I'm saying? So they were just talking to me, but they said, we've had a lot of artists from South Carolina and North Carolina come down here, though. And they said, at least, they weren't even prepared to do nothing. So at least you're prepared to do something, you know what I mean, on the go. Like you. But just see, when
I say that,
yeah.
She didn't know what she's talking about. She da-da-da.
No, they told me that.
You gotta be so prepared
right.
that if you walk up to somebody and tell them that you could do this, that, and the third,
right.
What happened if they tell you to do it on the spot?
Yeah.
What you gonna do? And it doesn't even have to be a freestyle. It doesn't have to be any of that. Right. It could be your song. Are you gonna fumble? Right. Or are you gonna carry the ball to the finish line? What you gonna do?
And I came back from that trip, man. I think I made a hell of an album after that. Now I still gotta get it mastered, but I don't have it out there. Like I ain't putting it. It ain't out there. But I it was. I just came back a whole different artist from that experience.
And this is where I get called cocky or the Miss Deb of South Carolina or the whoever Wendy Day of South Carolina, all that. Okay. Because I make it my business to learn the sound. I make it my business to see what's what. Okay. But in the same respect, am I an engineer? No, I'm not. Can I hear where the imperfections are? Yes, I can. But you know why I can hear that imperfection? Because I went to different studios. I talked to different engineers. And what happened? They taught me. You see where I'm going with it? They taught me. Now, is that my area of expertise? Heck no. As an artist, are you going to have your area of expertise be music business? Heck no. It should be your craft. It should be your creativity. It should be all of that. However, when someone is speaking to you on a business level, if you know something about the business side, then nobody can shit you, right? Because what do you know? Oh, wait, that don't sound right. I remember reading something, or I heard something, or I saw a video, or I saw one of the nugget drops from Miss Lisa, or I saw a nugget drop from somebody else, or this, that, and the third, but I know that don't sound right. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So even if you don't know how to, per se, like me, record the music, start mixing and mastering it, and this, that, and the third, I know what it sounds like, and I know what to listen for. Even that little tiny sound of dust flying in the back of the studio that you can hear.
Yeah, they pick it up
because the system is so crisp.
The system
is feel me? Yeah. And you can hear that and be like, "Yo, what was that?" Right. And then when people say, "I don't hear it," what do you hear? And then when you play it like 3 or 4 times, they're like, "Yo, I hear what you're saying." Yeah. And it could be the slightest little thing, but if I can hear it, the next person can hear it. I said, good example, real quick. I sent a song all the way to Ohio, right? To a radio station in Ohio. And I had a friend up there working, right? So the song was fire. It was actually an R&B song with a singer and a rapper on it, right? Song was fire. Everybody was feeling the song, right? So when I got the singer to jump on the song, right? Because I made a deal to get the singer to jump on the song, right? He recorded at Studio B. And the song was recorded at Studio A, right? Figured no problem, because that mic and that mic, same, a mic is a mic. Yo, why when that song went to Ohio, the music director kicked it back and said, yo, that thing was recorded with 2 different mics. And you can hear the difference in the mic. I was like, is he like the mic FBI? Who, what? Right? But you know what? When it went out, the song sounded great. When he sent it back after he said that, I would have never, ever, ever, not my area of expertise, heard it until he said something.
Yeah, and then and another thing, you got to be able to take criticism, because I had a.
I shut up because I'm not a engineer person.
Yeah, you got to be able to take criticism, because I have an album that was on Spotify. And I like to think it was mastered, you know what I mean? Now my engineer and the person that masters stuff, you know what I mean? Oh, he's good at what he does if he's paying attention to your stuff and he's on lockdown. Like the first project we did and he mastered and stuff was great. And what we did make some mistakes, and I just kind of just, in the beginning, I was just like, man, shit, I don't care.
Chalk it up to the game.
I don't want to be a superstar. I want my music out there. You know what I mean? I want to be able. You see what I do? I go online and you know what I mean. I just attach a verse to something, a flyer or something. You know what I mean? That's where I wanted to be at. But now I kind of don't want to put garbage out there, sounding stuff. So now I'm like retaking.
You're more articulate.
Yeah, I'm retaking everything back, and I'm gonna the more and more money I get, I'm gonna get everything that I had mastered, and the songs that they say, you know what I mean. Hey, we just can't do nothing with that.
So check it.
Re-record.
And apparently that he liked it a little spicier. So.
Oh, so he had like a little fetish.
So did he let you down, or you let him down?
He kind of did it. He kind of ghosted me a little bit.
That's real?
Yeah, he ghosted me.
How you felt about that?
Who ghosts is not?
That's
what I was asking. How you felt about? What's the ideal date for you?
Well, if you'd watched the episode,
you would know that. That's one.
That's a question.
That was a question we already asked.
What's the worst date you been on then? The worst date.
Yeah. The worst date I was on, dude took me to McDonald's and was
no.
Like,
how old were you?
This was it was younger.
You know what I'm saying?
First of all, hold on, pause. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. But you naming all the right names, bro. Listen.
I was raised in I was raised in the record store, so
Missy was Wayne's favorite.
Right. Yes.
She was so
different.
different.
When you talk about art, when you rap, the creativity get pulled from somewhere that people just don't know where it come from. And when you put it together and you create something that is just unreal, man, that's just Missy Elliott, man, Timbaland with them beats. around that era, man, that was Genuine, all of them.
This is what artists don't realize. You got one distribution platform. I ain't gonna call them out because they ain't gonna call my name out, so I ain't gonna call their name
I
out.
know you're talking
However, so you got one musical platform that I know of straight out the gate, and you pay $10 extra, they'll mix and master your stuff for you.
Wait a minute. That's not
Like
this-
I said,
Oh.
ain't nobody calling my name
I
out,
wanna
so
know.
I ain't
Oh,
calling
we'll talk
out
about it on the
theirs.
regular, yeah,
Okay?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is a distribution site that you could pay them a little extra money
Right.
because when you upload their music, the system listens to it. And so the system will catch it and say, hey, for the low price of, we can do this. And they'll do it.
But yeah, I'm with that person that does that since we ain't naming names. And yeah, it does sound better, but if the mix ain't where it need to be at, even with them fixing it, sometimes you still
No, but they'll go back in
Yeah.
and mix and master it. But the bottom
Yeah.
line is, even so, if you want a sharp mix and master, you still gonna have to send off the stems and the track outs and all the other stuff.
Right.
Okay. So basically, they're just gonna clean up what you sent.
What you sent,
And
yeah.
like a producer once told me, if you give me garbage, when I get done mixing and mastering
It's
it,
gonna
it's gonna
sound
be
like good
beautiful.
garbage.
It's gonna be beautiful garbage.
It's gonna be beautiful garbage.
Yeah. But I personally like engineers that'll tell you, hold up, wait, go back and do this piece.
Right.
Wait a minute, go back and do that piece.
yeah, my guy
because
does that
they're perfectionists for their craft. And if their name is going to be on something that says that they mix and master something, or they recorded you and mix and mastered it, they want to have that level of perfection. You know what I'm saying? And even if you have to pay an extra $50, $100, $25, whatever, for that service, then that's what you should do.
right.
That's what you should do.
And my thought, and I hope that what comes out of this independent artist music festival is like, people wanting to get out their comfort zone or who's cheap.
Oh my God. Didn't I just have that
Yeah,
conversation? I had that conversation.
Who's the cheapest, and start working with some of these people
No,
that
I
really
said-
love
I
this,
said-
really love music.
You got a lot of artists that are in a routine. So they go to work Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Friday night, they're going to the studio. They're going to get their kush. They're going to
Yeah.
get their whatever, and they're going to the studio. Okay, first of all, if you high, just so you know, you can hear it in the
You can
music.
hear it in the music.
Yeah, you can
I
hear
try to
you
tell
can hear
them
the
guys that I
slurring.
can hear
You
y'all
can hear the slurring. You can
Yeah.
hear the grappling. You can hear all that. Okay. Then on top of that, so this is your weekly routine. Why aren't you uncomfortable? Why don't you make yourself uncomfortable? Why is it that you do the same thing over and over again? And what results do you get from doing the same thing over and over again? That's what I want to know. If you do the same exact thing over and over again that you've done for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 years, because I know some 20-year hitters out here, okay? And you have gotten no results. Why are you still doing the same thing? Why are you comfortable still doing the same thing? Why is your routine still the same? That's how how they say to them boys on the block. That's how you get got, because them boy know your routine. You see what I'm saying? And the same thing back to when you were saying, back in the day from slinging and whatnot. If you ever did drugs, if you ever sold drugs, and you are now an artist, you should be making bank off your music, because if you know how to sling them units, you know how to sling these units. Same
That's why
baby
most
mama,
of
different baby
That's
daddy.
why most of I say I wasn't good at it, but that's
No, but I'm saying if you was good at it, if you wasn't a
good
broke,
at it, yeah.
let me say it is, if you wasn't no broke drug dealer,
Yeah.
and you was a drug dealer that was getting bank,
yeah.
then you turned into music. You
Right.
should know the same way you learned how to perfect that slinging them bags and slinging that rock and slinging them vials and slinging them little paper bags back in the
Right.
day.
Right.
You should be able to do that with your music
Right.
now.
And you say that, but
And that's
some of the artists that are out right now, like a lot of them, come from the drug game. They was how they were able to finance it. And,
Well, that was
do
how
what
they were able
do.
to finance it, but you still got to sling your music.
You still got
Saying you got to be on that block slinging that music the same way you was slinging that dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you need somebody to show you how to build a budget, I could do that too. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. That's what's up. That's what's up. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just make sure you
touched
take
on
care.
everything?
Take care of you first. Pay attention to what you're doing so you don't keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Make sure if you're supposed to take some medicine that you take your medicine.
Take care of your mental health.
If you see
game
your
would do drag you
people's,
now.
if you see your people acting a little off, a little strange, a little separate, there's nothing wrong with picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, are you okay? Hey, you want to meet up for some coffee? You want to meet up for a soda? You want to meet up for a drink?"
Can I
There's
stop you real
nothing
quick?
wrong with that.
Can I stop you just 1 second? And I'm gonna let you continue. But to the people that know something's off with them, but they've never been diagnosed, you know what I mean? Do not be ashamed to say, "Hey, I have a problem." If you running up somewhere and you fighting everybody, whether it's your old lady or whether it's this person, that person, then you know it's you off somewhere right now. You don't have to. For one, weed, pills, and alcohol, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm trying to get my
I'm a former alcoholic.
yeah. I'm trying to get my shit together. Alcohol is not what you run to solve your mental health.
Nope.
It's not gonna do anything for
And
your
it doesn't
mental
do
health.
anything if you
It's
take
only gonna hurt
if
you.
you're taking psych drugs. It doesn't do anything
Right,
either.
and all of this other stuff y'all want to pop and smoke.
So I'm
not
gonna
gonna do it
disclose.
for you.
I'm gonna disclose
Yeah.
when I say people don't know your backstory. So I'm a battered wife survivor, and people don't know that because they know that out in a minute. Okay. However, it took 18 years. Let me see. I left in 86 and got 86 to 2009. How far is that? That's a long time,
86
right?
in 2009.
Yeah, that's a long time,
96,
right?
2006, what, 23 years?
Yeah. Okay. So it took that long for somebody to figure out what was wrong. My friends used to ask me, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" Because if somebody say boo to you, boy, you on go 24/7. And I'd be looking at everybody. First thing out your mouth is what? "Hey, shit wrong with me. I'm fine." Right? Then I had a friend that worked at I'm a veteran, y'all. So that worked at the VA space. So this me, good little veteran. "Come on, boo, I think you got something wrong. Come on, let's go talk to my friend." They get the hookup. "Come on, boo, let's go over there." My friend turned around and said, "Well, when you gonna come sit down?" I'm looking at her like, what the hell I got to sit down for? Right?
Yeah.
Sure enough, from being in a domestic violence situation for so many years, it was 5 years when I was married to I call him my ex-husband. I call my husband now my first husband because my ex-husband didn't act like a husband. So it took that long to decipher that I actually had PTSD. Okay? And people think if you have PTSD, you got to be a war veteran and all this stuff. No. If something significant traumatized you, whether you saw a horrific car crash when you was little, if you was molested, and if you were raped, if you had a horrific incident happen in your past, you can actually have some form of trauma. It might be PTSD. It might just be like short-term trauma. It might be long-term trauma. It depends on what it is. But if you're that person that people always say, "Why are you snapping on this one? And why are you snapping on that one? And da-da-da-da-da," there's something wrong. And see, me, I went from a social drinker. Well, I was in the military, so I was always a binge drinker.
Been a drinker.
Right, binge drinker. But
shit'll make
I
you
could binge when I was hanging out with the bingers, but then I could go back to social drinking where I had to drink here, drink there, and knew when to stop. Well, after a while, it caught up with me, and I was a binge drinker. If I started drinking, I wasn't going to stop till I passed the hell
what
out.
happened to me.
Okay, so then I became the party girl, the loud boys went, "Yo, Miss Lisa's here, we about to do this," and da-da-da. So finally, I just woke up one day on Valentine's Day after I was drunk as hell. And the story goes, I was so drunk, I didn't know I was drunk, so I was trying to get drunk, which means I could have killed myself through alcohol poisoning. And I woke up, and my head was so damn big, I said, "Oh, I ain't doing that no more." And everybody that knows me knows if I say I'm not doing something, yeah, I ain't doing that no more.
Right.
So 10 years ago, this coming Valentine's Day will be 10 years for me where I just woke up and said I ain't doing that no more.
And I'm trying
And I
to
stopped.
I'm trying to get there.
Club soda, I don't know what it is. Don't hold me to this, but there's something about club soda in between your drinks that helps you slow it down. I did not know that at the time, but I just started drinking club soda with a little lime in it. It's nasty as hell, I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
But for some reason, I was drawn, and it might have been the man above, but I was drawn to club soda.
I like club
Started drinking the club soda. I never had any DTs. I never had no shakes. I never had no withdrawals. I had nothing. I just stopped.
Okay, and so that's perfect. You said everything I want to say, and then I'm gonna just get the audience, and then you can take us on out.
Yeah, I ain't been transparent like that forever.
Last year, 2024 was the best year of my life, and I just realized 3-4 days ago that it was really the worst year of my life, and the reason why I say that is because it took a toll on my body. I said I was going to get out here. Maybe that wasn't the best thing to do because I was in every bar every night. I'm already like to drink, but then I was in every bar every night. So we drinking on Monday. We had this place. We indie night on Tuesday. We had this place. Podcast on Wednesday. We drinking. Thursday I was here, Friday I was there, you know what I mean? Saturday, games are on at Baker's, chilling, you know what I mean? And that whole year of success, it was like, okay, dang, man, we hit another goal and let's go out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reward for hitting the goal was to go get drunk. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it didn't even catch up with me in 2024. It just caught up with me in 2025 where I just had an incident. I'm just like, dang. Like, but I could feel it coming towards the end of 2024. I was like, man, you hit that New Year, you got to slow down. I even said, after this New Year's party, because I had a big New Year's party, and Steve came by, I said, well, after, and it got way bigger after he left. And I was like, not that he was the reason why I got bigger, but you know what I'm saying? It was just like, this is my last, my homeboy was out here. I said, well, this is my last
Big hoorah.
like big thing. Like I'm a scale back, but then I didn't scale back because I started wanting to do some other things, and that was bringing about depression, how I'm gonna make this happen and stuff like that. Should I make this move? And I knew I had to spend a bunch of money to do some other things. So, you know what I mean? Finally caught up to it. And then I was just sitting there checking out. And then it hit me like the other day. I was sitting there listening to Nas album. Like, I swear to God, every time something bad happened in my life, I can go back. Or every time something, you know,
a song is related.
Something is related. I can go like I went through a breakup, and he came out with the the Life Is Good album. You know what I mean? I went through when he came out with that when I was trying to, having problems on the job, and I knew it was racism and stuff like that. He came out with the nigga album. It just seems like every time he comes out with something around the time
That's relevant.
But this was a few years back, and I just wasn't paying any attention because I wasn't in that lane. But then I was in the lane of being a successful businessman, and I went back and I listened to that King's Disease album, and then I realized I had King's Disease. I wasn't eating good. In April, May, I was 230 pounds, and I'm 6. I'm 5 foot, 7, 5'8". So you know what I mean. So overweight, health problems. You know what I mean. Started going to the doctor. They got me going back and forth. Sugar up. Body ain't getting insulin. You know what I mean. And not some of that don't have nothing to do with drinking. Some of that is just bad health habits because you eating this and you eating that and you eating
But
this.
you're eating that because you have to eat fast food. You have not necessarily fast food, i.e. like fried food and stuff like that.
You're in the club.
But you have to eat food fast.
Yeah.
So it may be something that's healthy. It may be something that's not healthy.
Right.
But you got to eat something like right now.
Right
so
now.
whatever's there, that's what you eating.
And then even when you ain't drinking and you just eating, you in these spots that don't sell nothing
No healthy-
but
there's no
salmon
healthy
bites
reference.
and fried fish and fried shrimp
Fried.
and chicken wings.
Yes, fried.
So,
right.
But I was listening to that album, and then I started today. I started listening to the Dead Prez album, and I just like, oh, okay. I've even though I might have had the most successful year of my life, I really fell off. You know what I'm saying? Even though the money was looking good, the
You
podcast
subliminally
looking
crashed
good,
out.
the views are looking good, my music is doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Like things are like looking up. Like we were able to, to go to Atlanta and ball out. You know, have a good weekend with the staff. But the whole time I'm thinking I'm going here, but I'm really crashing. And that's something like deep for the artists that are successful. Now that you're successful, you don't have to go buy the most expensive weed. You don't have to go buy.
That football player makes $100 million a year, and he drive a $30,000 car.
Right. Chad Okoseco
And they got mad at him.
never spend any money. You know what I mean? He's wearing fake jewelry, driving a Honda to work every day. So, you know what I mean? Had a $35 million contract. And now that's why he has money. Even after a divorce and a woman took half, he still had a bunch of money. You know what I mean? So the whole thing, what I'm saying is that we touched on artists that may be struggling, but the artists that are having some success, you can't go get the condo looking over Columbia like we Scarface and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can't do this. You can't go buy all of this stuff and accumulate all this debt and things like that. And just because you think, this is your moment, this may not be your moment. You know what I mean? It just looks like it's your moment. And that's how and I'm talking from experience because that's how I felt in 2024 is that, I've always made money, did good, but you know what I mean? This was just came fast. Like, it was just like, okay, I doubled myself by April. Now I've tripled myself by July. Now I've quadrupled myself by my business is booming. My daughter is involved. Like, hey, this is what life is about. And I allowed myself to crash because I had a disease, you know what I mean? And they call it King's disease. It's just when you start making it, you start accumulating, you start eating.
A king.
You start eating bad. See, most of these kings that are in the pictures are fat. You know what I'm saying? You start eating bad. You start drinking bad. You start drinking the worst stuff. You start... if I had all the tip money I spent, like just because, you know what I mean, I don't have to match the tip. Just because I spent $40 don't mean I got to give a $30 tip. You know what I mean? Then you going all of these places. It's not
even the tip money. Imagine all the money you would have if you didn't have all that liquor.
That liquor, yeah, definitely. So I just have been thinking about that since Sunday. It's like, I wrecked my car or whatever. It wasn't my fault, but I was drunk and I was just sitting there thinking like, you know what I'm saying? I was sitting there thinking like, man, you know what I'm saying? I could have just killed myself. Like, and I was coming, I was coming from the, this was like one of the highlight of our best interviews like we did with Pastor Troy, and we was there for Jadakiss. We was backstage with, one of my top 5, you know what I mean? Just to be that close, shaking hands, taking pictures. I was able to get an artist that I like on the platform. Surplus was there. They were late, but they were able to, you know what I mean? The people that was there to perform before, they was able to slide them back in. So everybody, it was just a lovely moment to me. It wasn't as crowded as I thought it was supposed to be, but it was a good moment for South Carolina, like hip hop or whatever, Columbia hip hop. And it was a bunch of people from Charleston, so I don't want to say it was Columbia hip hop. It was South Carolina hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It was a good moment. And you know what I'm saying? I after that, I should have went home. I went to an after party and on my way home, the morning was coming out and God came out and showed me something. So, you know what I mean? It's just amazing when that happened. The light just instantly, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. It just instantly got light outside and I just knew what that meant. And I'm not saying that I'm never going to take a drink again. I will never but I promise you to God, I will never get drunk again. And my accident was somebody else's fault. They found the person that that pulled out in front of me and everything. But you know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that I was that I was so intoxicated that I didn't even remember how the people from the Waffle House telling me what happened. You know what I mean? Wow. So you know what I mean? And that wasn't, and I didn't have no concussion and nothing. That's just alcohol. So, and I don't smoke weed and none of that other stuff, but that alcohol will kill you. And it's just like, you know what I mean? And it's like the most successful people, man, I just noticed like a lot of them is crashing. You know what I mean? They getting high off the fame and stuff like that. And I wasn't mentally paying attention to that. And that's just something that we got to pay attention to. Yeah, a lot of us are struggling, but the ones that are making it, we got to still, take it like every day is a struggle because, just living like beyond your means and living this crazy lifestyle, like that's the rap lifestyle. That's not the rap lifestyle.
That's
like,
not the rap lifestyle. That's
right.
that's what you choose to do.
What you choose.
That's what you have. You perceived it as being that. That's what you choose to do.
Because you saw Puffy do it, but look where Puffy at. You know what I mean?
You ain't never lied.
So,
He slid right up in that jail.
Yeah.
That part.
That man done spent Christmas. That man probably never thought he'd spend Christmas, New Year's,
And Thanksgiving.
and Thanksgiving in a lockup. You know, and he by himself because he a celebrity. He ain't out there
No,
with
he
nobody.
a scary little B too.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. He may talk that talk, and he may know other people that do his dirty work, but he's a scary little that part.
Yeah, and he in Brooklyn.
No, he's in the Fed joint, and he's in the Metropolitan in Manhattan.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in Brooklyn. Okay.
No, he ain't at Rikers.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be at Rikers too, or the barge, but he's not on the barge either. They got I think the barge is in Brooklyn. I forget Rikers. I don't know where Rikers at. I know, the Metropolitan joint is in the middle of Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you take us on out.
Yeah. So 2024 wasn't in my mind, it wasn't my best year, but in actuality it was because of the revelation I asked for and the revelation I received. So 6 months in, I asked for revelation real hard and I got it from people that weren't good for me to my daughter having a major stroke. However, it kind of was a blessing because had it manifested, the aneurysms manifested, it could have took her completely out. So the revelation was the revelation, and it brought things to light that actually made it better. But I'm on my P's and Q's, I'm on my toes, and I see it for what it is. So that was the plus side of 2024. The downside was how you feel when stuff blows up in your face because you was too comfortable. Okay? So I'd like to say, first and foremost, love yourself. Second and foremost, take care of yourself. And if you learn nothing, learn that you are a small business if you are in the music industry working towards obtaining your goals. And you have to do certain things, regardless of what anybody tells you. You have to do certain things in order to better your situation and in order to make your business thrive. So, with that being said, I am Miss Lisa from Diamond Law Entertainment. The number you can reach me at is 843-696-3981. Don't call me at no crazy hours because, I'm not going to answer the phone. So anywhere between 10 o'clock in the morning and 7 p.m. at night is cool. You can also text me, and you can hit me up, or you can just hit me up via telephone, or you can go to my website and see what we're about, which is D as in Diamond, L as in Law, E as in Entertainment, 843.com. So y'all be easy and peace.
She'll be in the building March 1st.
March 1st, I'll be right there.
Gotcha.